Excuse me, but there appears to be a gaping hole in this plot. Are you sure you don't want to fill it? No? Alrighty. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 movies with the worst logic. For this list, we'll be looking at movies that aren't necessarily bad, but their plots really ask the audience to suspend disbelief. Number 10, The Twilight Saga. Twilight raises numerous questions, most of which pertain to Edward and Bella's baffling romance.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stop.
Their basis for a relationship is built on looks and smells. Bella isn't at all fazed by Edward being a vampire more than a century old who watches her sleep at night.
How did you get in here?
The window?
Do you do that a lot?
Well, just the past couple of months.
Edward straight up abandons Bella when Jasper attacks her. But if Edward wanted to protect Bella, why didn't he leave after James kidnapped her before? When Edward returns, he does a complete 180 and asks Bella to marry him, but she doesn't want to.
You won't stay with me any other way.
Bella, please.
Wait, she'll jump off a cliff just to feel closer to Edward, but marriage is one of those cliffs she won't jump off of. Bella does eventually say yes, and don't even get me started on the consummation. Number 9, Looper. Dramatically compelling, masterfully acted, and sharply directed, it's hard to find fault in this time travel movie. Except when it comes to the actual logistics of time travel.
I don't want to talk about time travel shit. Because if we start talking about it, then we're going to be here all day talking about it, making diagrams with straws.
Since you can't get rid of bodies in the future, assassination targets are sent back to be killed by people in the present.
When we sign up for this job, taking out the future's garbage, we also agree to a very specific proviso.
Eventually, the assassins killed a future version of themselves. The system was bound to backfire eventually, and it inevitably does when old Joe is sent back, determined to survive, as his younger self hunts him down. Wouldn't it have made more sense to take out old Joe in the future, then send his body to another time?
It doesn't matter.
When I hurt myself, it changes your body. So is what I do now change your memory?
It doesn't matter!
On top of that, Looper tries to have its cake and eat it too, utilizing both a single timeline and a multiverse timeline, creating a paradox. Number 8, Life. As atmospheric and creepy as this sci-fi horror film is, the characters make every mistake in the book after bringing an extraterrestrial life form aboard their space station.
We're looking at the first incontrovertible proof of life beyond Earth.
When the life form named Calvin won't respond, the crew gets a bright idea. Shock it awake. People, did you see E.T.? That method is not very effective. Whereas, E.T. was a friendly alien, though. Calvin responds violently and uses the shock wand to escape. From there, the crew keeps finding new ways to make matters worse.
Can you try and distract it?
Yes. I'll see if I can interest it in the wand.
When Ryan Reynolds foolishly enters the hot zone to face off against the alien, the situation escalates quickly, and soon enough he loses all of his organs. The film is called Life, but these astronauts are pretty good at tempting death. Number 7, Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman was intended to be a much darker movie that would have ended with Edward coldly tossing out Vivian, who drives off with her friend to Disneyland.
So, you got a lot of stuff you gotta move in? No, Carlos burned most of my stuff when I said I was moving out.
Ironically, Disney picked up the project and insisted on it being a much more lighthearted affair. Thus, the final film was about as logical as a fairy tale.
I don't want you to get too excited. It's only on loan.
In typical storybook fashion, Vivian helps the powerful playboy to understand that there's more to life than picking up random hookers and corporate raiding. So Edward turns over a new leaf without making any sacrifices while Vivian is set for life. We'd be lying if we said that the ending wasn't romantic, but let's be honest. We all know that the original ending was much more realistic. Number 6, Jupiter Ascending. For a film that had a lot of thought put into its world building, Jupiter Ascending makes zero sense.
I don't think that most people would want to know the truth.
The movie kicks off with a man getting himself killed during a robbery, leaving behind a pregnant wife who names their child after his favorite planet, Jupiter.
With Jupiter rising at 23 degrees ascendant. According to my aunt, this is supposed to mean that I am destined for great things.
At least it wasn't Uranus. Years later, Jupiter decides to sell her egg cells to buy a telescope. Sounds like a bum deal, but the movie is just starting to get stupid. Jupiter is soon roped into a nonsensical plot involving aliens, reincarnation, royal sensing bees, an intergalactic wedding, and a screaming Eddie Redmayne. How dare you! All the while, Jupiter is like, it's fine, whatever.
You're 14,000 years old?
The Wachowskis were so focused on creating this grand mythology that they forgot to incorporate any rhyme or reason. Number 5, Armageddon. An asteroid as massive as Texas is going to hit the Earth in 18 days, obliterating life as we know it. To avert disaster, a team must drill into the asteroid and insert a nuclear weapon.
My God. What do we do?
So naturally, NASA sends its top astronauts, of course. Actually, they enlist oil drillers who never even stepped inside a rocket. But hey, what usually takes years of studying and training can easily be mastered by a group of ragtag misfits. Yet, apparently, none of NASA's astronauts could figure out how to operate a drill within 18 days.
Okay, got your training, we're back in business.
Ben Affleck brought up this lapse in logic during the commentary for Armageddon, and apparently Michael Bay wasn't thrilled with his logical thinking.
He was like, Ben, just shut up, okay? This is a real plan, all right? I was like, you mean it's a real plan at NASA to train oil drillers? He was like, just shut your mouth.
Number 4, Grease. This classic musical clearly wasn't aiming for a realistic portrayal of the 1950s, but its depiction of the high school experience isn't much more believable.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Danny brushes off Sandy to look cool in front of his greaser friends. Yes, because we all know nothing is lamer than dating a beautiful cheerleader who's totally into you.
Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is, rockin' and rollin' and whatnot.
Danny?
That's my name, don't wear it out.
For real, what universe does this thing exist in? Throughout the movie, Danny ignores Sandy, ditches her at the school dance, gets uncomfortably touchy at the drive-in. It's all cool in the end, though, because he wears a Letterman jacket. Also, Sandy conforms to win over the guy who's mostly been a jerk to her.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man. And my heart is set on you.
The resolution couldn't be more contrived if you threw in a flying car. What? Number 3, A Quiet Place. Whatever problems we have with this thrilling film are nitpicks. That said, we do have a few gripes. For starters, why didn't Reagan get rid of the batteries when she gave the toy space shuttle back to Bo? Also, we know that Bo was just 4, but could he seriously not comprehend that a noisy toy would attract the noise-sensitive creatures hunting them? A year after Bo's death, Evelyn is about to bring another child into this post-apocalyptic world. You'd think Evelyn and Lee would have taken precautions to avoid this, since, custom crib or no, a newborn baby would totally jeopardize the family's safety. Of course, the real question is how they conceived without, making that noise. Number 2, Justice League. Between Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, and Cyborg, Steppenwolf and his army, they seem pretty outmatched. Nevertheless, our heroes feel the need to resurrect Superman as well.
This is crazy.
Oh, what, now it's crazy?
You lunatics better know what you're doing.
This isn't just to improve their chances against Steppenwolf, but to provide the world a beacon of hope, even though Superman didn't really inspire anybody in his past 2 movies. Anyway, the plan backfires because Supes comes back full of rage, but he immediately calms down after Batman brings Lois into the scene.
Please. Please. Just go.
Gee, it's a good thing that the Flash traveled back in time and vaguely told Batman that Lois was the key, which he never actually did in this movie. Oh well, we're sure everything will make sense once the Zack Snyder cut comes out, right? Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. 28 weeks later. The last time you saw your wife, she was attacked by zombies. So kiss her.
Oh, God, I love you too.
Truth or dare? Sure. Let's go to an abandoned church with a stranger to play Truth or Dare.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
What are your intentions with our sweet Olivia?
I needed to find someone with friends that I could trick into coming here.
Aeon Flux. Why would you give someone hands for feet?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Room. We feel like The Room was Tommy Wiseau's attempt to prove to the world how amazing he is.
Why did you do this? You know better, right? Why?
I'm sorry.
And in a weird way, amazing is the right word. The logic in this cult film boggles the mind. Why did Johnny and Lisa decide to have sex while Denny was over? Why did Denny interrupt them? Why didn't the flower shop clerk recognize Johnny?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
Why did Michelle and Mike hook up at Johnny's apartment in the middle of the day? Why does Mark always look surprised whenever Lisa comes on to him? Did Denny ever pay off Chris R? Why does nobody care when Claudette gets breast cancer? Who plays football wearing tuxes? We don't understand any of this, and that's why we love it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.